I'm gonna fight when I want to fight. I'm gonna box when I want to box. I'm gonna do what I want on November 22nd, and he's not gonna be able to stop it. I could tell him what I'm gonna do, and he's not gonna be able to stop it. I think people are gonna be very surprised with how I beat this guy. I don't want to give away too much. I'm gonna beat him all around the board. They're gonna be surprised for sure. I know that. It's not even. I don't think. I know that they're gonna be surprised because I'm just an all-around complete fighter, and I want to show that.
Sound like you ready to fight, good.
Okay, man. So I seen Devin Haney was interviewing with, I think it was Roy Jones and Andre Ward, and he sounded real confident. And he said, I'll put the clip in there. And he said that he's going to shock everybody on what he does in this fight. And I want to paraphrase, but he's going to make it look easy. And people are not, going to be surprised how he wins the fight. And boxing, that's boxing, sometimes you see a fight like John Molina and Lucas Matias, and you like, it's gonna be a firecracker, and it's a firecracker. You know what I'm saying? You might see a fight where, you on paper, it might be boring, and it ended up being a really good fight. Boxing, you just never know. And I'm explaining why you never know, why the mystery is more, mysterious now. Now you got guys only fight once, twice a year. So imagine you only hooped once or twice a year. You know what I'm saying? Or you only played the game once. You ain't going to be as fluid. You ain't going to be as good as you should be. So that's why when these guys now, had these 10 to 12 weeks camps, you don't know what you're going to get. Because where's the line between leaving it in the gym, also cutting the weight, and then also getting better? So usually when you focused on the weight cut, guess what? You ain't really working on yourself because you just focus on getting the weight. And it's strategy. When you got to make that weight cut, it take away from strategy. So when you constantly in the ring 3, 4, 5 times a year, it's constant, like, okay, I'm in rhythm. All right, I might gain 10 pounds between fight, 15 pounds. Guess what? Hey, I'm right back in the ring. I'm burning it off. So your body's a fat burning machine. And then also I can work on strategy. I can work on getting better. What we doing wrong? We can work on things. When you focus on cutting that weight, man, it's hard. It's hard, but that's why you don't really see the got my glasses on. That's why you don't really see that's why you see these upsets and shit happening. That's why you see a lot of them happening. But, with Devin, I mean, it's always, oh, he gonna definitely get knocked out. He can't take the punch. And fighters hear that. And usually sometimes you just never know what you're gonna get. Some guy that was known for getting hurt, they move up, they can take a better shot. I think people seen that with Bud. He moved up proper, he moved up strong. When you put that weight on, some guys just take a better shot. Some guys are susceptible to getting hurt because they fighting at a weight they shouldn't be at. So think about that last week, that last 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds you cutting, you already didn't cut through extreme muscle. That's the worst thing you could do is start burning muscle. But then when you start cutting through extreme fluid in your body, that fluid cut is a motherfucker. But it does irreversible damage when you keep doing it. You keep depriving your body of nutrition and you burn muscle and you deprive your body of fluid in your brain system fluid. That's why you see these guys that go from, granite chins to, chins of a poet. It's one of the greatest lines in boxing history. Customato said about his fighter, Floyd Patterson, great fighter, but he got a chin of a poet. I believe Sonny Liston took the title from Floyd Patterson. A lot of people don't know that. Floyd Patterson, he had the title. You know what I'm saying? And Sonny Liston, knocked out Floyd Patterson, who I believe was trained by Customato. So said he had a chin of a poet. It's one of my favorite one-liners, but it was the truth. And Sonny Liston was a killer. But so when you see these matchups, they rarely. The reason why they rarely now go as planned is because A lot of these guys haven't tested themselves, but it's just they not fighting enough. So anybody can have a bad night. If the last time I fought before tonight, with Devin fought in April, so that's not too bad. We talking about May, June, July, August, September. So it's about 6 months. The last time I did something, it was 6 months ago. Like, it's crazy. Ideally, you want that fighter in the ring 4 times a year. That's ideally you want them in there every 4 times a year. It ain't got to be killers. 1 or 2 fights can be killers, but I'm telling you, it makes for a better fighter. It makes for a better resume. It makes for a better fighter because you got repetition. But he sounds confident. So, what can it be? You gotta run, you gotta run, bro. I heard that Coach Malachi said Jeff Mayweather said he needed to run. That's the worst thing you can do versus a puncher. Especially if you fight a guy like Chavez, who really know how to, really, like, you fight him, you move against him, better have some offense. You moving versus guys like Hagler, you better have some offense. Worst thing you can do is run versus a puncher. You know what I'm saying? The best thing you can do is push them back or hold your ground early on. Keep that fight in the middle of the ring. Punchers make mistakes. Remember that. Punchers make mistakes, but I think it'll be a good fight. Devin is confident, and they feel like they got a good strategy. I heard they was trying to steal his sparring partner and all of that. We'll see. Will be a lot of fading, holding, angles. It was a particular Brad Ryder who said Devin Haney's a coward. My thing is this. Get in that ring. I can't say you a coward. Like I said, getting in, tell that coward to get that Brad to get in the ring. But it's easy to pile on to him. They came in the game with money, came in the game with a father that was hands on. And that's America's number one nightmare. It was a family that's sticking together. A father that didn't make his son go down the same path he went down. Brian Norman Sr., tremendous. They got a trucking business. They're a mechanic. He said they would have been straight without boxing. That's what you do. Boxing ain't the end all be all for neither one of them. Their fathers found ways. Like the majority of black men, we find a way in this country, which everybody is against us. We have to find a way not only to survive, but to thrive. And to thrive in secrecy, because once we start thriving, then it starts to be a whole bunch of laser bullet points on our chest and our head. So we can't flaunt what we really got. You know what Boosie say? I forget what he said. He said, I got my 40 even when I'm shitting on the toilet. Like, that's what it is. So we can't be out here flaunting our shit like everybody else, but nor do we need to do that. But Devin sounds very confident. He sounds very confident. Very confident. So, and be a good fight. Brothers got to get money together. There ain't no other way. Brothers need to get money with brothers. That's it. Y'all don't need Hispanics. Y'all start getting money together. You're going to start to see the jealousy. Y'all start breaking that bread together, doing your own thing. Y'all going to reap the fruits of your own labor, bro. I'm telling y'all, it's the best way to do it. Get money together. Fight together. Lose, win, lose or draw. Let's get into the next one. You don't need nobody else. And this probably, should have been the main event, to be honest. Y'all say Anthony Yard ain't got no chance, but heard Norman getting $3 million. It's a good payday. But, Devin sounding very, very confident. Very confident. So, but everybody's power. You can take power away. You can take it away. You can smother it. You can avoid it. And the best way to smother power is to go to it. You go to that puncher. And once you establish that you can hurt that puncher, it becomes a different ball game. Now, if you can't hurt them, you might be in the world of trouble. So, But at some point, the crack will land. We do know that. Devin will get cracked. At some point, he will get cracked. But if it's, why Norman still got his legs, or he still got his full power in his conditioning, or will he get cracked down the stretch where he's starting to fade? It's a great question. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link tree, find me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.